It is very strange to say that this is the last week we will know a world that does not have the game Starfield in it, as we have been waiting to play this game for an incredibly long time, and as most of you know, this Friday marks the early access release. Therefore, today, my friends, as we head down the home stretch, I want to go over a few details we've learned over the last few days, and as always, answer some of the questions you've sent the channel. What is going on, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and as we begin this video, my friends, I'd like to take a moment and thank you for your incredible support of this channel when it comes to my Starfield content. I mean, I just really started covering this game last week, and your support and feedback has been absolutely incredible. I sincerely appreciate it, and this is just the beginning. There's so much stuff I'm going to be covering on this game. Now, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, and we are having a giveaway for an Xbox Series S. We're giving away 2 of them, and all you need to do to enter is either subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winners will be announced October 1st of this year. So the first portion of this video is my taking a few moments and answering some of the questions that you did send the channel in previous videos, and then we're going to go over a few new details of things we did learn over the last few days. So the first thing we're getting into, and this is by far the #1 question you sent the channel, and it relates to the sheer size of this game, what that means for New Game Plus mode, because we know Starfield has confirmed that is going to be a feature. Now, if we're talking strictly about the gameplay hours, keep in mind that is going to be completely and totally dependent on how you choose to play this game. You could go for the main missions first and just get through those. You could decide to do side missions first, a combination of the two. And to put it in perspective, and this is from an interview that Pete Hines gave over the weekend, when asked what his own experience was like in playing this game compared to other people that were playing it as well, he had this to say.
And he was like, you know, how far are you in? I was like, I just hit 80 hours. And he's like, so what did you think of the main quest? And I said, oh, I haven't done it. Like, at all. And he goes, what are you doing? Like, I need you to play. I was like, well, I was doing all these other things. I'm trying factions and seeing, you know, what does it feel like? He's like, you have to play the main quest. And then I got so caught up in the main quest that I spent the next 50 hours just doing that. Like, I forgot about all the other things because I got so wrapped up in the story. This game doesn't really even get going until you finish the main quest.
Now, with that being said, it does segue us into the next portion of your question, which has to do with New Game Plus mode, and one concern I heard from some of you out there. And that was, if Starfield is introducing this into the game, does it mean we're going to get through the campaign very quickly, then feel the need to actually restart over and over again? Now, what you're looking at on screen is a very brief description of something that Pete Hines said in an interview that he gave when he was talking about New Game Plus mode. Now, because it relates directly to the main story, he couldn't really go into detail. However, he does state it is different from most New Game Plus mechanics and is rather special. Now, for those of you out there who may not have any idea how New Game Plus mode works, typically it allows you, once you've completed the main campaign for the first time, to start another campaign and take with you every single thing you've earned during that initial run, which can include your weapons, your gear, your resources, maybe in this case your ship, things like that. Now, because we have no idea how this version is going to work, we have no idea at what point in the game you are actually going to want to use it, and we are not going to know until those reviews start coming in at the end of the week. Obviously, once I have any more information to pass along, I will bring it to you, and as always, questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know. Moving on, my friends, we are now going to go over some of the details about the quality of the game itself, and this information is based on feedback we have heard from people who have those review copies, which have been out for about a week or so. And what you're looking at on screen is an article from InsiderGaming.com. As always, I will leave a link to that publication in the video description down below, and you can see it says the following. With Starfield in the hands of media, creators, and those fortunate enough to get the game early by other means, there's been one question looming over me for months: is Starfield full of bugs? In the past, we've all been accustomed to and memed about the fact that Bethesda is known for its buggy games, but is Starfield going to break that cycle? Fortunately, I've been speaking to several people who have been playing the game for a week now to get the answer. And for the record, the person who wrote this article is Tom Henderson, and he continued by saying the following. Our first public comment about Starfield being a polished game came from a journalist, Tyler McVicker, who's currently under an embargo for the title. Despite being under the embargo, McVicker took to Discord to say, also 15 hours in and not a single bug. Henderson continues by saying, taking one person person's comments at face value is never enough, so I reached out to my contacts to delve a little deeper. Speaking with several sources under the condition of anonymity who are currently under embargo and couldn't speak publicly about the game, McVicker's comment is the same sentiment given by everyone I've spoken to. 5 individuals who have a varying amount of time put in the game have all said that the amount of bugs they've experienced can be counted on one hand. In fact, most said 1 or 2 at most, with everyone I spoke to having put dozens of hours into the game. In addition, it was also said that almost all of the bugs that were found have already been listed to be fixed in the Starfield Day 1 patch. Henderson continues the article by saying, admittedly though, even with speaking with 5 individuals, it's a small pool of opinions in the grand scheme of things. Public perception will always be different, but in my opinion, hearing the behind the scenes buzz and positivity of the game is a very strong, encouraging sign. Whether or not public opinion will be different remains to be seen, but hey, I guess we'll have to wait another 5 or so days. Last but not least today, my friends, I want to go over this quote-unquote controversy about invisible walls and worlds having boundaries, as many of you out there have reached out saying you heard some stuff online and you're wondering what is going on. Now keep in mind, this information is based on some leaked footage that came out over the last day or so, and it does indicate that there will be certain boundaries when you hit up a planet. Now once again, Tom Henderson was able to gather some information, and he did say the following. Basically, planets have a different number of landing spots with terrain limits. One planet might have 3 landing spots, whilst another might have 5. These are your main landing spots with points of interest, and then you have another number of landing spot allocations where you can land anywhere. Once again, there are terrain limits. Now, in my opinion, and please let me know what you think in the comment section down below, but all I really care about is a good game. That is really all that matters to me. And you know, if this stuff is true, am I bummed out you can't run around an entire planet? Yes, but at the same time, I'd rather know my limits than have to spend 40 minutes racing around in search of nothing whatsoever. And based on the leaked footage, and again, I will not share any spoilers whatsoever, but it just showed a character running in a pretty linear path for about 9.5 or 10 minutes, and then it got to this invisible wall. Now to put this in perspective, and this is for those of you out there who know this channel from The Division 2, but last night I ran from the Capitol building to Lincoln Memorial. That took me about 9.5 minutes, and that is pretty much the entire length of the DC map. So if that's what I'm limited to per planet, I'm good to go. And keep in mind, we have no idea at what part of the game that was or what we can really expect. So my friends, we are only a matter of days away before you get a full breakdown of all the things we can look forward to. With all that being said, I'm going to start to wrap this up. Now, I think it is more than safe to say that over the next week, we are going to continue to get a ton of information. I promise to bring it to you. And as always, if you have questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know and I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. That is going to do it for this video, my friends. You can pretty much expect daily videos from me between now and launch, and obviously when this game comes out on Friday. That is when the madness is truly going to begin. We're talking beginner's guides, tips and tricks, all of that good stuff. I sincerely appreciate the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.